Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you all have gotten safe and sound into this new year. Today is the 1st of January, and you are probably thinking, oh my god, are anybody able to make videos the 1st of January? And I probably ain't able to to do that. Not that I got very drunk or anything, but I'm up late and probably tired. So I have made this a couple of days in advance. I will just quickly say my name is Lisbeth and I'm Danish. And those of you who have been with me for a while here on my channel or have been with me on my Facebook group know what I'm going to say now. So I will try to make it short, but not so short so anybody new here can't understand what I'm talking about. For the whole 2025, I have been hosting a Dogma rule challenge called the Stitched Circle Show Challenge. And there is a link below for a playlist for that. You can find all 52 videos here under the little word more, or anything else I refer to will be in the comments here under the video, so you can find what I'm talking about. There is also a Facebook group connected to that. You can apply, and there you can show what you're doing if you want to participate. I won't close the group for 2025 because several have jumped in late in the party and are still doing it. And as long as Facebook and YouTube exist, or let me exist there will the Dogma rules for 25 will also be there, and you can do it in whatever pace you want to do it. But that was about last year, and today I will talk more about this year, of course, because we are going to start a new challenge here for 26. And 25 has been a tough year and a lovely year in many ways, in the Stitch way or in the Stitch Circle Show Challenge way. It has been very, very nice to see all your embroideries and all your support and kind words and all the nice things I can say. But Facebook has really not been nice to our group. And the admin has nearly been killing me sometimes, and my red hair has nearly turned gray sometimes. So to this year I would do it a little different, and this is what I will tell you about now. Last year we did a weekly challenge. This year it will be a monthly challenge, and I will put a video up every Thursday in the month. So there will be 12 challenges this year. Last year the challenge was quite precise what I asked you to do, and they weren't very big challenges, so many of you could do them in a couple of hours, and some of them were perhaps took a little longer, but it was manageable to do in a shorter time. This year we are going up in size, and the amount of time you will use on it will be bigger, but again you have a whole month to do it. And this year it isn't about being the first who is done and doing the smallest thing, or make the solution, or what you decide to do. It's easy and not much stitching. There will be much more stitching on these if you try to follow the rules I'm setting for you. But again, you have a whole month to do it. So for the exact things that are here in this challenge, the difference will be this year the fabric and the thread colors are totally up to you. I won't interfere in any way in which colors you want to do this challenge. That is absolutely free. Each month I will set a couple of Dogma rules. Sometimes it can be a picture of something, a picture I have taken, or a picture of an artist, or a painting, or it can be a sentence, or it can be many different things. I haven't thought of all 12 things for this year yet, but I will tell you what that is and give you the stitch you are going to use and what you are going to do with the fabrics. That is the rules, quite simply told. The measurement for the fabric this year is pieces that would be 25 by 25 centimeters. And right now, I can't remember what that is in inches, but I think it is 10 by 10 inches approximately. Yeah, because 1 inch is approximately 2.5 centimeters. Yeah, 10 by 10 inches or 25 by 25 centimeters. And every time we are going to trace a circle in about 20 to 22 centimeters. You will have to have a little border around it if you want to. If you want to do it in a light color, because you perhaps sometimes would like a little border, that is up to you. Or else you can use whatever you want to use as a background. I have decided to use this off-white creamy color in a cotton fabric. I know I don't want a wall hanging, but if you want a wall hanging, you can also have a big piece of fabric that is, so you have 12 squares, and if you will have 3 by 5 or what you will, 4 by 3, that is up to you. You can also sew them together and make a wall hanging. That is also an option, especially if you leave a little room here or a little border around it. That is up to you. I know I will make a book and place mine in a book. And when I make that book, I will of course show you how I make the book, because I have a quite easy binding to do for single sheet bindings. I haven't done that video yet, but I will do that also. What else do I want to say about this? I have been in my kitchen and found a plate. So I have already cut my tin plate here for this here. And it is 20 centimeter, and that is 8 inches in diameter. That is a nice thing perhaps to have such a thing here, because you're going to use it. We are going to trace that every month. So I think in short terms, this is what the conditions for this year's challenge will be. But for those of you who are thinking, why is she deciding all this? We can do it ourselves. Yes, of course you can do it by yourself. But the Dogma Rule Challenge is for those who want to get pushed a little out of sometimes their comfort zone and be pushed perhaps a little to get started, because we all have been there where we sit with this piece of fabric and I really want to stitch something, but what on earth am I going to do? Yeah. And there the Dogma Rule concept comes in very handy, because as soon as you got some simple rules and to follow, you can go. So the rules, as you saw last year, can be very simple. Trace a circle, only use cross stitches in a spiral, for instance. And then you are going. Then you know what to do. And sometimes things happen when you are going. One idea leads to the next. That is very much what happens for me. And this perhaps also will happen for you here when you start doing this challenge. And it is quite okay that you get ideas generated from my idea here. But please try to make the piece here after the rules I set. And then you can make as many more and go out on a tangent and do whatever you want to do. This is a kind of tool, this dogma rule theory or way of working. And I know some people don't like rules, and in fact I don't like rules very much either. But sometimes it's nice to have these rules to get started if you don't know what it is you want to do, but you know you want to stitch something. So that is the basic meaning for a Danish person, and the word dogma rules. It has nothing to do with a religion of any kind. Here in Denmark we had, it was in the late 80s. It all started with some directors, movie directors, and they were a group, and they set up a set of rules, dogma rules, for their filmmaking. And the rules, for instance, could be only use natural light. All the movie were to be taken in one long shot. The actresses were only have to have their own clothes on. The sound should be as it was, and there was a long rule of different, a long list of different rules, and I can't remember all of them. And there were a lot of very good movies coming out of this concept. So that is. It's a set of rules to get you going to speak. But I don't think I will say much more about this now. All the links you can find under here. The links for applying the Dogma Rule Group 26 is also there. And please don't apply if you don't want to do the challenge. If you just want to look, and you can go on Instagram and look at the hashtags there. There are also 2 hashtags I want you to use under here. And look at my videos. And the group is for people who want to participate and look at on each other's works and comment on each other's works. Okay, I'm quite all this talking. But I will start the first challenge of this year. You can see I have been busy, so I have already cut up 12 pieces here. But away with them now, for now. So, and this template can also go away for now. This month, January, the theme will be stripes or strips. I have a lot of offcuts here because of this. I made a book cover, and I won't show you what's inside the book. Not that it's a secret, but that is not the meaning here. But it is made with all sorts of different stripes, and then I have sewn many different color threads over the seams. So now you know where I got my inspiration. And away with that, I won't be looking at that anymore, because that was just the inspiration, strips or stripes. But I have all these strips and stripes here. And I want you to, as I said earlier, you can do any color scheme you want. But I want you to find as many as possible fabrics in a color scheme you like. And then I want you to cut your strips in centimeters, about 3.5 centimeters, or in inches, 1.5 inch. And I just do it like this. It doesn't matter if it isn't totally neat, because we will be sewing them together. So now there is a little strip, and away with that one. You are going to need a lot for this here. So I will take my fabric and just place it there. And then I will start making, I think, because it's not a bigger piece than this, at least 2, perhaps sometimes 3 pieces sewn together, so it will make a longer strip. So if I, for instance, take that one and that one, I will make them and you can see here they aren't quite the same size, but it doesn't matter very much for this. And then I will sew them together. Here I have it is just ordinary sewing cotton I have here. So I can come in a little closer here. And I will just sew them together with a little seam allowance. You decide how much you want. And the smallest running stitches you can do. You can also do back stitches if you want to be more secure, but I don't think it matters so much. And in the loop, that is the lazy tailor's thread here. And I know you English probably say lazy girl, but you stupid woman, I did it the wrong way. But I don't think it matters very much, because then it isn't so obvious this here, and this here doesn't matter. So I will say, I will just finger press it. If you have fabric you don't like very much because it is too harsh or something, yeah, turn it upside down or put it in tea. That is also an option. So I think I will say here, and I think I will find another scissor, because this is irritating. Let me see if this one is better. And again, I cut this off. I can always cut it more off when I'm done with the sewing. There. That is the first stripe. And I will just place it there. And I think I will just take a little of this off here. There. And you can see there's a, oh yeah, you can't see that, sorry. There, that was better. There's a little something there, but I will cover it with the next layer. There. And I will find my needles also. Then I will do exactly the same and then think, okay, this could look nice. I think this is the back. And what could that look nice with? I have some fabric here. I've dyed myself with walnut. And I don't think there's a front or back of that. So again, I will sew them together. If I can find my needle here in all the... Yeah, it has gone. Just a second. So ready for stitching, and I will do exactly the same as I did on the other. Cut that. And open it up. And finger press it. And just put them over here. And I don't want my seams to be over each other, right over each other. I want them to be different. So I think I will just find my big scissor here. I have so many scissors, but you probably know that for yourself. There and there. And this will just go back in the pile. So what I will be doing now is I want turned edges. I don't want raw edges on this project here. So I will have to turn this upside down here. Like this, but I want to do it, I think. Place them above each other here, like this. And of course you can put needles in if you want, and I think I want that. There, you can see now. And then I will sew with a little seam allowance here, and then I can flip this down. So that is all I'm doing. If you aren't sure, you can make a seam that is straight, or as straight as you think it's needed. You can always take your ruler here and draw a line, so you have something to stitch for after, not for all these words. Yeah. And then I will do exactly the same as I did when I sewed the small pieces together. And you don't need to see me do that. And but I can just start so you can see it. But there's something. What on earth is going on here? Oh, now there is a knot on my thread. I will take a new thread and sew with running stitches from there to there, and then I can show it to you. So it's just following the line and take the smallest ones you can cope with. And I have taken a thread that fits most of the fabrics I want to use. I know I want to make my pieces in the same color scheme all the year over, and you don't have to do that. You can do exactly what you want. But if you're going to make a wall hanging, perhaps it would look nice if you, yeah, that's just perhaps me. I like my colors to look nice together. But we all have different taste, and I know some of the members have been in the Facebook group has been in quite another ball game with colors than I am, and I think they look forward to be able to choose much brighter colors than I normally do. But yeah, I will sew this over and flip it over and show it to you. So the only thing I will do is just to flip this down here and finger press it. So the thread there, and there. Then I will take the next two pieces of fabric, and perhaps this one, and I can take this one because, yeah, you can see the seams are placed differently. So again, I will sew these two together and place them like I did here and sew them on. I can show you when I'm a little further in the process. I know I have hangover here, but I think I will just cut it all when I'm done with all these strips sewing on here. So again, I will just place this on top here and put some needles in. Yeah, perhaps that is a little too long here too. And again, if you want, take your ruler and make a straight line. And I think it is easier to make the line when it is upside down, but it's easier to have it the other way while I'm sewing. So there. You can see the line there. So I will turn it over, and then I will do running stitches there and flip this down, and I will do that and show it to you. I always like this part where I'm sweeping or turning the fabric over here. So I think it is exciting to see what it looks like. And you can see the strips ended up like about 2 centimeters. But in that ball game here. But I think that looks quite nice. So I will do that all the way to the end of the fabric, and that is a lot of stitching. And last year I could make the video in one day and do it all at the same time, but I don't think I can manage that. But it's a bigger process this time, so there it will take me a couple of days. But of course for you this video will be one video, and you will have it all to look at the same. But this is the way I continue with all my strips, and when I've done all my strips I will be back and show you what the next will be. So this is as far as I can come today. The light is nearly disappearing, and I think I'm 2 times, 3 times more, and I can't, yeah, I will see. And I have nearly gone through all the different pieces that I have, so if you don't have so many different as I have, just spread them around so you think it looks nice. And it is a little wonky some places, but I don't mind that either. If you're more neat than I am, you will have to measure and use your ruler a lot more than I have been doing. But yeah, I don't think it matters much, because we were going to sew a lot over this piece of fabric we have designed ourselves. So see you again tomorrow, but in this video, of course. Oh, good morning, it's the next day, and this piece has been lying under this cutting mat here to flatten it out, and I have had my ruler here on the last strip so it will lie flat. Of course you can iron it, but before I trace my circle I want to cut these edges straight. These edges I won't cut, but these edges I will cut. And I will just take my cutting mat and go for the back fabric, the line of that. And I need to stand up to do this. About there. Don't do it so close in so you cut all your knots for your threads off. And then I will just, and don't remove your ruler until you're sure you have cut through all the layers. If you have a new blade, it's no problem. You can of course also, if you don't have a rotary cutter like this, draw a line and cut it with your scissor. That would be exactly the same, but perhaps it gets a little more neat when I'm doing it this way here. There. And again, oops. Oops. And yeah, off they go. So now my piece will be about 20, yeah, it's 25.5, but who cares? And 25 and approximately a half. That is the first. The reason why I cut these off here was so I have the exact measurement so I can center my piece here, or my tin plate. I will use this tin plate through all the 12 months. And it is a plate in from my kitchen, so of course you can also just take a plate from your kitchen and do it around that. But now I have this piece here, so I will just take a pencil, yeah, and go around it. And of course yeah, it is probably easier to have taken the plate to do it than this cardstock thing here. And this we also will be doing every month. Trace a circle of a substrate of some kind, what the month will bring. But here it is. And yeah, I think I can see it. There. And then I want you to find as much different threads in so many different colors you think look nice to your fabric. And I have a basket in my sofa corner because I always have some small bits and bobs I am sitting in the evening and so on. So I have just taken this basket, and you can see here there is my beloved mercerized cotton from the Dutch brand Venne. There are some pearl cotton, and yeah, that is mostly what there is in here. So I have something to choose between, and if this isn't enough, I have another box with some other colors. But for the circumference here, I think I will find a darker color so it is easier to see, and I think I will go for this brown color here, and I will just do running stitches in the circumference all the way around there, and I will find a needle, thread it, and begin that. So there's thread in my needle, and I will just go up and down here, and you decide how small, big your your stitches are going to be. I think I will make them about this size here. And I think I've got a needle without much point on it, so I think I will take another needle. I think this is the one I use for, and you can see this is a little bigger, that stitch here. I will change my needle and go all the way around, and when you come to the end, eyeball it so it would look nice. Doesn't that look yummy? I know what I'm going to do next, and to highlight that, I think it would look very nice if I did 3 rounds of running stitches but made them very close. So I will make 2 rounds more, and I will not go in the outside, I will go inside, because then if I do it 2 more times outside, there won't be much room. So I will do them inside here, but close to the previous round. So I will do that 2 more times, and then I can show it to you. And then I don't think I can have time for much more today. I'm here after lunch going for coffee by a friend. So tomorrow I will start all the stitching inside the circle. Doesn't that look very nice? I'm quite satisfied. But I have no more time today for stitching. So I will keep on tomorrow. But for you, yeah, it will just be a second. So see you again tomorrow for what next to do on this stitch circle showpiece here. So it's a new day, and I am ready for doing some stitching. I don't think I am able to sew all this today. I have will sew a little over the next couple of days, but I will show you what I want you to do for the last thing here in this circle. If you look at all the strips, you can see there are 2 different ones, and there are changes, and there are this space there, and then it changes again. So every time there is a change, I want you to change color. So I will find, I don't know where I will start yet, but let us say I will start here. I would find the color I think look nice here. You can see on both these fabrics, and then I would stop here with that color. Then I will take a new color and do it until I reach the next point where the fabric is changing, and there I will take another color. So 3 different colors in this line here. And since I have 2 pieces of fabric in every of my strips, there would be 3 changes in every line, if you can say so. But perhaps it is easier to see when I start sewing. But I think I will start here and look at that color and see what color am I able to see on both sides. And I think this color here. And since I ain't sewing a very long piece, a long space here, I can take not a very long thread. And the things I want you to sew is straight stitches, like overcast stitches. And if you will stab stitch or scoop stitch, that is up to you. But if you're not a very experienced embroiderer, perhaps it is easiest to scoop stitch, then you won't be in the risk of sewing your stitches too tight. But that is up to you. The way I do it is I come up and I go just over there and come up as pretty close to the previous stitch on the left side. And then I go down again and come up. Yeah, perhaps I should come in a little closer there. I don't hope you got seasick here. There. Just take a little bite of it, you can say. And make them about a centimeter or so, a little more or less. You don't, as mine isn't totally neat, and that is what I like. But so straight stitches and vertical lines. And this I'm doing now is called yeah, what was I saying? I can't remember now. Stab stitching. No, this is not stab stitching. This is in one way, but you can see mine are the same on the back side, and you can easily pull too much in your thread, so the fabric is crumbling or making ripples, and that isn't the meaning. But some people like to go down there and come up at the same side, but I find it, for me, it's not working to stitch that way. But I know some, you can see how I'm fiddling around here. Some like to do it this way, but I think if you have to do it in one way, it is very difficult to get a small amount of space between there. So for me, it's easier to do it the other way, but it doesn't matter because the look will be exactly the same. So if you're doing it like I'm doing it, please don't pull too much in your thread so you're crumbling your fabric up. So I will continue with this color until I reach that point there. But you don't need to see me doing all these stitches. There will be a lot of stitches in this piece here, and I have warned you already when I told you what this year was about. A lot of more stitching on the pieces, but again, you have a whole month to do it. So yeah, I will continue until I come down here, and then I will find another color and change the thread. So now I have taken a really hush orange color here and started, and I will sew all the way down till here. And I have a lot of different colors, and but even though I have a lot, I don't think I can have different ones in all the areas here. So I will just spread them out where I think they look nice. If you don't have as many colors as I have, just spread them around like you have done with your fabric, if you haven't got so many different as I have. Just use what you have and get the best out of it. Yeah. But if you're sewing with, for instance, DMC yarn, I don't know if you're sewing with, if you choose to sew with 1 or 2 or 3 strands of the thread. But if you're doing more than 2 or 2, you can always take 2 different ones and mix them, and it would look like you have several more colors than you have it. In fact, because you're mixing them, that is also an option. So I really like the look of this. It makes me very happy. So I will stitch all the way down to here and find another thread. When I'm done with the line here and I want to change color, I'm just weaving my end here in the stitches on the back and cut the thread out, and that is that. So what color should we do here on that line there? Something that's visible on both sides, perhaps this one here. Yeah, you can see this on both. So I will take this one and start up. So I have a lot of sewing ahead of me, and I know I won't be able to be finished today. So and you don't need to see me do all this sewing. So instead of sitting here, even though there is a nice light to sit and stitch, I know tonight I sit in my couch and looking at the telly, I will probably sew this up, and if it would take me 1 evening, 2 evenings or 3 evenings, depending on what I'm looking at the telly. As far as they are speaking English, it's okay, I can follow along. But if they're speaking French or Hungarian or something else, I need to read the subtitles because then I can't understand of what people are saying. I don't speak other languages than English, even though we Danish, we Danes, they are as old as I am. We have had both a little Swedish and a little Norwegian in school, so we can understand each other. The young people nowadays, they talk English to each other, and I think it's a pity, because I think it is nice to be able to understand others, and it isn't that difficult to understand Swedish or Norwegian for a Danish person. Yeah, that was just a little side note here. But I will continue this way down here. So I have been sewing a little more here. You can see I've taken a new color, and 1, 2, 3 different colors down here, and the same there. 1, 2, 3 and 1, and this was a very short space there, and 3, and this is the way I want you to do all the circle here inside with these stab stitches. No, not stabs. straight stitches, all these English names here, yeah, they are driving me a little crazy. But remember to enjoy your stitching. Enjoy when you sit there and let your thoughts going walkabouts. It isn't about and be in a hurry and done in a rush. Enjoy it while you are doing it. And right now I'm really satisfied with the look of it. So I will stitch over the next couple of days, but for you it will just be a second, then I will be back here in this video. So here it is, done and dusted. It took me 2 nights, and then I had finished all this stitching, and I'm quite satisfied with my piece. It is fraying a little in the top and the bottom, but I don't mind that. But if you do, you can cut the small fluffy things off. And right now I can't do much more about it, but let it lie here, because I am going to make a book, a simple book structure, and I will put up a video with that here the upcoming Monday, the 5th of January, and then I can place it in my book. But until that, it will just be lying there. I really hope you will enjoy this monthly challenge here, and I again can say, use the colors and the colors of thread you like. Don't look at what I'm using. Yeah, of course, if you like my color scheme, you're welcome to use that, but you can do it in your colors. So I hopefully will see a lot of very different colored circles in the Facebook group. And apply if you want to participate. Don't apply if you don't want to participate. Yeah, what else do I want to say? I will take some close-ups here at the end of the video, so you really can put your nose in it. And the Dogma rules will also be here under the little word more for you to read. If you have liked my video or you have found inspiration in it, please give my video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. You can also put there's a notification bell, so you can get a notification every time I put a new video up. But if you're interested in this kind of stitching here, slow stitching and other kinds of stitching, look for the playlist where it says something about stitching, and skip the other ones that doesn't interest you. But the previous year, 2025, all the videos for that challenge, and that was a weekly challenge, will be there in the playlist called Stitch Circle Show Challenge 2025. And you can always do that and also be a member of the Facebook group for that challenge and show your pieces there if you want to. I won't close the group. But else I would just say, please be creative, and please take care of yourself and people around you, and please be nice to everybody. So I will see you perhaps before, but else on Monday for the book for this challenge pieces, and else there will be videos dropping during the month. And for the Stitch Circle Show Challenge, I will see you again the first Thursday in February. Bye bye for now.